mina esadini lami hayi ngibona ngekho important ukuthi sivote because abantu abaningi basela umsebenzi actually so baziqhishini ukuthi like sivotelani because abayindawo yabo iningi yabo.
I'm still on the fence if I'm going to actually vote, but I'd like to participate as a law-abiding citizen and a tax-paying citizen.
To me, like, if it's important because it's count somewhere, because nami, I can choose which party ngifuna ngivote yami. That's why it's so important.
Yeah, it was my first time actually registering for vote because I can see change in the near future. I believe in the South African economy will boost up when us as a youth are contributing on the elections.
Democracy is like equal to everybody. Everything must be equal to everybody. Kungabi nokuthi there's people who are higher than other people. There's people who are not treating other people like at work. At work, it doesn't work at all because if they decide to retrench, they look at the color first. Then they zip the color.
To me, democracy means ultimately people taking responsibility and in how they live, how they interact, how communities are formed. And democracy then has so much to do with giving everybody a fair choice and equal measure and say in what happens in their local community, in the global community. And so I'm very much pro-democracy in any form.
I think democracy is having freedom as a person, having a voice, voicing out your grievances, giving freedom to live in a world where we are free, where people's demands are met, whereby people's grievances are heard. I think it's also free education for all and people being happy in the world that we live in.
Democracy really means like if you're just electing a community board or even a school board, like not even talking about like presidential elections and stuff like that. If you're talking about an election for a school board, something like that, democracy means that everyone in the community gets an even say, and therefore your kids will get the same, your kids will get the benefits that you want.
I'd say democracy for me is having a platform to exist within a society and a country that we live in. I'd like to know that my opinion counts. As as I exist in the society, I'd really hope that casting a vote for a particular political party means that they will deliver within my community and the things that I need, and also those who exist within my environment, their needs will also be delivered, such as service delivery within education and health. We really need opportunities in that sector, especially in terms of job development. Especially for young people like us. We're still young, right? Yeah. For young people like us, there's a high rise of unemployment, and it's rising through every single election. I would like to know that are our grievances actually being heard in all sectors of society?
I don't think the U.S. is a good version of a democracy, so I don't want us to be the example of one. I do think everyone should be involved, regardless of how much money you make or where you come from. I think every voice matters. It really just depends on good people outweighing the decisions of the bad people.
Your vote, it's like your voice. It's where you're going to be heard. This is what I want, because when you vote, you know the party that you want to make a change in your country. Because if you don't vote, you will complain about things or the country not changing, but at the same time you are sitting down, you're not saying anything, because the government doesn't come to us as individuals and listen to our problems. But when you want the government to hear you, you must use your vote. That's how they're going to hear you.
South Africa yethu leyo like for manje like angiboni ezosilethela i-future bright because of kunama various problems esiwafacile, ama-challenges and nama-fraud, like even white collar crime in economics. So I don't think if you try it is over right because of many parties and wonke like our play a huge role in everything.
One voice can make a bit of a change, a lot actually. So I believe that each and every person, lawyer or voter, when he or she can express his or her expressions, in my opinion, okay, it can bring a change in South Africa.
Well, I'm a very optimistic person and positive, so I see change, even though it's going slower in many ways than what we would like. It's coming, it's happening. And so I see a very bright future for South Africa. I see a very bright future for anytime elections can be held free and fair, then it leads to positive progress.
So the way our elections work is that there's a popular vote, and then there's also the Electoral College. Will basically each state, depending on how big the state is, how big the population is, they have a certain number of delegates who get to vote, and their vote counts more than just a regular person. So what happened with our country recently is we had the popular vote, and one person won the popular vote. However, based on the delegates that voted, we got a different president. So I'm not going to say too much because I don't know where this video is going to end up. But yeah, elections are interesting. Go ahead.
I think we shouldn't just only participate in voting or voting once every few years. I feel like if you get more involved with your local community and government, that affects us more directly. And with more people doing that, then I think better communities will be able to elect better leaders. And eventually we'll have the right representative for us, regardless of where you live.
Yeah.
And if one small community can be a good example, I hope that more, communities, countries, and hopefully the world will follow that. And then not allow money to get involved in politics. I feel like we allow our morals to bankrupt themselves when money is introduced.
I don't think I'm ready to vote because our government is not delivering. We have so many protests that are going on. People are complaining about everything. Companies are falling down. So I'm really not sure if people are ready to vote because there are a lot of promises before voting, and then after there is no delivery. Yeah.
I'd rather participate in the process than complain about lack of service delivery. So I'd like to participate in voting and the elections. However, I'm very skeptical if the very demands and the needs of our communities will actually be delivered. But it's worth a try. Arabone. If they're ever giving us all these free incentives with t-shirts and food and all these useless things, how about they fix the roads? How about they deliver on their promises for our society? Education, health.
Health and
you know what I mean? Come on now.
I just wish the government can go more, can bring itself to people, not that, after voting, they just neglect the people or they decided to stay away from the people. I just wish the government can go to people, listen to them. Because at the end of the day, their vote counts. So these people, they vote, but at the end of the day, there is no change that has been done. I feel that the government is neglecting people after they receive their votes.
South African future, it lies on the hand of the youth of South Africa. That's the most important thing. As a youth of South Africa, if we can raise our opinion and facts and fight the people who fight the people who are doing the bankruptcy, money laundering in a South African state, that you can achieve a lot of things in South Africa. To answer your question, I can say that as far as I'm concerned, it's on the right point with the election as us as a youth as we can vote.
There's always going to be hope, within a society. We all have, hopes and dreams, and we have short and long-term goals. It's all about those in power, how they implement them, how do they address them. Do they listen to us? Are we the voiceless? Are we ones to listen to as citizens of this country? So I think if definitely those in power who have the ability to make those decisions that can change our lives, if they really focus on that, if they really do things in terms of abiding with the law, I think definitely there is hope for our country. There's an opportunity for change. But provided those powers that be who are corrupt, who are only trying to benefit their own pockets and those around them, can look at the little people like me and her, like literally little people of society, and recognize the fact that we also are people who'd like to have a certain kind of lifestyle and want our certain kind of needs and demands met.